Kelly Stain here with my expert series where I help you live well, age smart, and age with confidence. I'm a local realtor here in the Philadelphia area, and today I'm joined by Laurey Andreas with Sunrise Senior Living at Haverford.
Yep.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm actually here in one of the rooms in Haverford.
Yeah.
So how about you just introduce us a little bit about Sunrise, yourself?
Yeah, so I'm the director of sales here at Sunrise in Haverford, and so a little bit about Sunrise. So Sunrise Senior Living is a senior living company that has properties across the United States and in Canada. There are about 250 properties. And we're located in Haverford, Pennsylvania, and our building offers independent living, what we call personal care services. A lot of people know that as assisted living. And then we have memory care. We have memory care for folks that need it. So we're one of the smaller Sunrises in the area. We have 63 total apartments. So, we have other properties, that are bigger.
Right. What I always love about Sunrise is that it always looks so cozy and like at home.
Yeah. The buildings are designed in what they call the mansion style, so they have a signature look to them, which looks like a grand old Victorian house with gingerbread and big wraparound porches. So it's designed, well, it is a home. I work where people live, so this is their home.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about who comes here. Who are you serving here at Sunrise?
So a number of people. So one thing to note is that in senior living in our community, there's really not an age limit. So it's not just for senior citizens. People can come here that need care services. So they're not restricted to a certain age. But generally speaking, we serve the senior community. Some people live here independently and will take a look at our apartments, and they just like the amenities and services that the apartments offer. And then some people come here because they need care services.
So what separates you guys a little bit is what people are thinking about is like assisted living is an age group. You guys are more open.
Yeah, we're more open. I mean, there's no state regulation around the age of a person. We just make sure that they not only receive the proper care services, but also can be accommodated in terms of like their social needs, their need to feel included. The activities and things that we do are right for them. But yeah, there's not an age limit.
Which I think is amazing because a lot of people could use the services that are not of age. So tell me a little bit about how we can help our loved ones plan for coming to a community like this.
That's a great question. I think it's important for families and people who manage like power of attorney for people to start to understand the services and and the communities as early as possible, before they're in a situation where a person really needs care.
Right.
You need to understand, costs involved and how admissions work, and moreover, each community that you feel comfortable with, that you feel might be right for your loved one if they need it. I don't want to say it's a complicated industry, but there's a lot of lingo, language to learn around it. So I would say, once your parents or your loved one is starting to, look at retirement or if they're downsizing their home, that sort of situation, I would do it before they would have like health concerns, because people come to senior living communities for way more than just the care that we offer. They come for lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
So I would say the earlier, ideas you have, and make it like a tight list, I always say, because then if need happens, if a health crisis happens, or a person really just decides they lose a spouse, any sort of life change, then you're going to go, these are the places that I think will meet my loved one's needs as quickly as possible.
That's a good tip. And I mean, it is complicated, I think. I mean, especially because you're not dealing with it every day. So that's why I'm here talking with you to share this of planning ahead and understanding the nuances of different communities and different services that are provided.
There's a lot of language in senior living and in healthcare in general. So we're constantly looking to educate people so that they understand exactly, like I said at the time, that they're considering senior living, they've had it narrowed down to places that they understand what they do and what they cost and where they're located, and to help them make some decisions. So it's not so overwhelming at the time.
Yeah, and it's probably a good idea to do it like if you're thinking of downsizing. I guess it's all financial, right? To understand the finances involved with it, how much it could potentially cost down the road, so you're planning ahead to help your loved ones plan. So can you dive in a little bit about the services and the level of pricing?
Yeah. So primarily at Sunrise, people rent an apartment, and there's no buy-in, that sort of thing. So no big upfront fees that are due. It'll feel very, very much like renting an apartment on a month-to-month lease.
Okay.
So a person can move in and live here for 10, 15 years and still be on a month-to-month lease.
Okay.
If they ever want to leave the community for any reason, health, they just want to move somewhere else, any reason, they give a 30-day notice. So there's a lot of flexibility in that. So when people have trepidations about like kind of coming into a senior living community, I always say you can look at it as a trial run. Come for a couple of months, get your mindset that you're going to be here for 2, 3, 4 months, and just give the community a try and make sure that it's the right fit for you. So that seems to give people some comfort. So we have studio apartments, we have 1-bedroom apartments, we have 2-bedroom apartments of all different sizes and models. One of the cool things about this mansion design that Sunrise has is no 2 apartments are exactly the same. So every single floor plan on the 3 floors that we have, it differs. So you may live in a studio and I may live in a studio, but they're completely different shapes and layouts. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it feels home, gives it kind of like a homey touch. Everything in senior living is always talked about by the day and paid for by the month. So the monthly rents have a lot of inclusions. So for one monthly fee, it includes things like utilities, cable TV, there's free internet service, there's regular scheduled maintenance and on-call maintenance, there's daily housekeeping and then weekly deep cleaning housekeeping. There's dining, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is served every single day in our dining room free of charge. There's kind of snack areas and bistros where you can have in between meal kind of things. There's a wonderful activity schedule that people can take advantage of. So all of those things we even do people's laundry. So we do laundry services, we do linen services, sheets and towels, like a hotel, we provide everything. So there's a lot of services including in the rents. So a person or a couple can live here independently. Young you, can come here and live independently and take advantage of all the services that the building offers and not necessarily be in a position that you need a care plan.
Okay.
That can be added on later if you would need those kind of services in the future. But if you don't, and we have people that live here independently. You can have pets here, you can bring your car here, you can be a working person here. So it's not necessarily just a community for people that need care. Don't get me wrong, care is here. We are a medical facility, nursing is here, we manage medications, we can do any sort of medical intervention for people, caring for them day to day in their apartments, doctors come in, that sort of thing. So we can do high levels of care, but you can also live here kind of independently.
And I guess it makes sense too if you're a couple, right? If someone needs more care than the other, then that makes sense too.
That's a nice thing about it. So even if you live together with your spouse or partner, you have 2 separate contracts. You each pay a rent, you each have a care plan if necessary, a medication management plan if necessary, but as you age differently and have different needs, you still reside together, but we just have you on kind of 2 separate plans.
Okay.
Even people who are in need of our memory care services, a higher level of dementia, their spouse can still reside with them if they choose to. So just because they don't have a dementia diagnosis or have any care needs, they can still reside together with their spouse if they want to.
Okay.
Because that's a big fear of people.
Yeah.
That they have to live separately. They can choose to live separately if they want to, if that's a better lifestyle for them. But they certainly can live together as well, because we keep everything's separate. The contracts and the care plans are completely separate, even though they're together.
All right, well, do you want to show me around some of the apartments?
Yeah, let's take a walk around and I'll show you some of our apartments.
Great, thanks. Hey, Laurey, how about you show us one of the
Yeah, why don't
apartments?
we start with one of our one-bedroom apartments.
Okay.
So again, we have studio apartments, we have one-bedroom apartments, and we have two-bedroom apartments of different shapes and sizes, just to keep us. They all have this cute little
Yes, I
window
love
that
the
kind of gives it
window.
like a sense of home. We put a shadow box if people want to put things in there, pictures, reminders. It's nice for us to get to know who they are. Every apartment has privacy, it has its own keys, so it is their home. So this is a one-bedroom. It's also our model room. So little sitting area in the front. You can put a TV here or dining area. All apartments in senior living are designed to be small, and they're purposely small because we want people out in the community. We want them at activities, we want them to enjoy dining, we want them to use our common areas and be with other people. So the apartments are private and nicely appointed, but they're also designed to be pretty small.
Makes sense.
They all have a little kitchenette, so they don't have a full kitchen, because again, breakfast, lunch, and dinner program, snacks, and in-between meals is included in the rent structure. So a little mini fridge, sink, and some cabinetry. You could bring a microwave with you. I'll show you the bathroom.
Kettle.
Because people always, coffee maker, electric kettle. And then the bathrooms are designed for safety. So they have a little clearance, step-in shower. They have a call bell system, lots of grab bars to them. And then this is the bedroom area. Sunrise is known for its big windows.
I'd say my favorite part of these are the windows
Yeah.
and the scenery around.
The one bedrooms have a cable hookup in the bedroom area, and then it also has it in the sitting room area. And it's everything someone can need. Those traditional transition, because people can move once they're in our building. And a lot of times, because we are a small community, people will take the first available apartment. And the typical transition that I make is larger to smaller. They think their loved one, mom needs a 2-bedroom, mom needs a larger space, and once they get in and get into the community, they take a smaller. So that happens a lot.
That's interesting.
I wanted to show a 2-bedroom. We have a couple different models. This is our standard 2-bedroom. This apartment can be rented singly. So someone could use one side as a sitting room, television room, and then the other, they both have closets, they all have cable hookups, they all have a door. Or it can be rented as a shared apartment. So it could be 2 roommates, each having their own bedroom. We don't do any more than that. They would each have a private bedroom. And then they share a common kitchen area and bathroom. And people do that for all kinds of reasons. They do it for financial reasons, it's a little less expensive, but sometimes people make friends and they move into the same apartment together. So we've certainly seen that, where they want to live together but have their private space, but also have a roommate they like. So that happens in both personal care and memory care.
It's one of the most common questions that you get during a tour or when you're meeting with family.
Yeah. Am I making the right decision for my loved one, for my mom, for my dad, for my parents, for my uncle, whoever? And I always say, it's a process. So it's just like, I hate to use the analogy, but it's just like sending your kid to college. You take the time, you select the right college, the programming looks correct, you take your kid there, you give them everything they're going to need, you set them up for success, but you really don't know until they get there how they're going to be. Will they find friends? Will they enjoy the activities? Will they enjoy the lifestyle there? And what I find, for me at least, is all of the stress and worry and anxiety and calls I get in the middle of the night from family is worth it because I see the outcomes. I see people come, I see them settle in, I see them make friends, I see them be more healthy, I see them with better nutrition. So it's very gratifying for me I have to wait for it, and sometimes people, right away kind of get in, and sometimes it takes them a month or so, to kind of really get comfortable. And then when I see the outcome, it's very gratifying. So I always say to them, if for some reason it doesn't work, it's a month-to-month contract, they can leave our community. But our success rate for having people transition and stay and start to enjoy lifestyle is over 95%.
Wow.
Yeah, so we don't have very many people transition out because they feel it's not the right environment, for them.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I think that's a good.
Yeah, we're very proud of that.
I think that's a good analogy, and I think it's really helpful. And I appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing all of this information and insight.